Hey you guys!
Hey everybody!
Welcome to tonight's training. Today we're going to be talking about a huge resource for content that you might not be tapping into and how using this resource can instantly set you apart from those other people out in the crowd.
Yeah.
You guys, if we have not met before, I am Becky Graff.
And I'm Tim Graff. And we help home business entrepreneurs leverage powerful online strategies to create the perfect lifestyle business.
Yeah, you guys, so as you're hopping on tonight, please let us know where you're coming in
Yeah.
from so we can have a conversation, because this is something that comes up a lot surrounding content creation. How do I say or share information that hasn't already been shared 10,000 times? And what is it that's going to really connect with my audience? Because that's what we're going to be talking about today. There are some things, a resource that most people don't tap into, okay?
Plus, we talk a lot of times about, being unique, being authentic. All these kinds of things that help brand you and help you stand out in a noisy online feed, right?
Yes.
And this is actually a resource that really helps you stand out in a crowd of chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a really cool resource.
And it's something that comes up a lot in workshops
Oh,
or
yeah.
in one-on-one calls with students is, again, this problem or the stress of how do I come up with content that's going to be engaging, that's going to connect with our audiences, okay? We've talked a lot about stories before, about how sharing in story is super, super important, okay?
Yep.
Because it connects with your audience. But then we're like, okay, well, what stories? Because is it my own personal story? Is it stories about my upline, my crossline, my downline? What stories is it that I can pull from? And if I've already shared my story, how many more times can I actually share the same story before people are like, I've heard it already?
Yep.
Okay, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever found yourself feeling that way when you're sharing story? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments if that is something that you've ever struggled with, okay? Because again, story is very powerful. And a lot of times staying up in our heads about people not wanting to hear it, okay? All these things play in our heads.
Yeah, it was, we hear a lot of the people that we talk to, a lot of business owners going, well, wait a minute, I've told my story so many times, I feel like a broken record,
Who else wants to hear my story?
Yeah, sharing different stories. I mean, I just, who really cares, right? Who wants to hear my story and what's going on? And see, here's the thing, you guys, is that is what connects. Okay, telling your story will relate to someone out there who is going through a very similar situation. Okay, and these are the kind of people you want to attract. These are your tribe. These are like-minded people, and these are the kind of people that you want to relate to. So by telling that story, by sharing what's going on with you, it actually will relate to the people out there that you want to connect with. So there are people that care, and that's the important piece to remember, is there are people. And that story is the relatable piece.
Yeah, and here's the thing, you guys. Again, a lot of times we get very stuck in this idea of what kind of story to tell.
Yeah.
Okay, people are following you on your page. You have a personal brand, or you're developing a personal brand to build know, like, and trust with people, okay? They want to know what you're up to, and oftentimes we get stuck in this headspace, and we're guilty of it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll hear me on almost every live say that we've been guilty or we're guilty of some of the same things in our
Sharing
journey.
Experiences, right?
We're sharing
That's what
part
it
of
is.
our story.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. Showing up as a personal brand is not just about teaching all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just about all the information. It's about relatability and connection with your audience.
Yeah, we're building relationships, right?
And so what is this resource that we keep alluding to? Okay,
Yeah.
what is this resource that maybe you're not tapping into that can instantly make you stand out from the crowd?
Yeah.
You guys, this is something that happened to you today.
Yeah.
Okay, and it might have been something that happened to you yesterday, and it definitely is going to happen to you tomorrow. Okay, this is sharing what is going on with you in the moment today.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a gap.
It's sharing your, and the important resource here is sharing your right now story.
Okay,
and that's just it. Maybe you just went to the store and you had some crazy experience with another shopper, or maybe your kids went crazy in the store. Okay, those are the kinds of things. That is a story. Those are the kinds of things that you can tell and relate to business. Have you ever noticed that sometimes that you're just frustrated with all the things going on? It's like me today when I was at the store, and that relatability. A lot of us go through our day-to-day life and we don't realize that we have a story that's unfolding as we go throughout our day, every day.
And I'm curious,
Yeah.
to that point, how many of you have a car that you drive somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you have ever used your blinker in your car to turn right or left? Okay, and this is a legitimate question. Okay, this is a very, very small example, but a snippet of how you can use an everyday experience and relate it to what you're doing in your business. Okay, so you're driving in the car, right? You have a destination you want to go to. And if you have people following you, how many of you have ever done a caravan where you have multiple cars or at least one other car that's attempting to get to the same location?
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever experienced that before, where either you are following somebody else or people are following you? Okay, blinkers, right? We use them. Sometimes most people don't use them in the state of Utah. We'll just say that, okay? But here's the thing. Something as simple as lifting a lever up or down has a massive impact in the ability for other people behind you to know where you're going, to know what's coming up for them. As a leader in your business, it is very essential that you're using your own blinkers, okay? That you're using strategies.
You're using these examples and things in your own business so that those that are behind you or following you or learning from you can also mimic, okay, those learning tactics or whatever you want to call them.
So
okay?
let's put this together.
Those skills.
A system. If you have a system for your team, okay, it can be like blinkers. They're following you in the car, okay?
It's that roadmap.
If you're teaching them a skill set and we need to go to this next juncture, or you need to learn this next skill set, then you need to turn on your right blinker to turn right, okay? Yeah. It's very hard to follow somebody who's not using their blinkers, especially if it's at night, okay? Because all sorts of crazy stuff can happen, and on your entrepreneurial journey, it is very easy to get off the path or get lost and get turned around in a neighborhood, okay, with our example that we're using, okay, if you're not giving clear, indicated signs about what's going on. Okay?
It's a simple analogy, you guys, but at the same time, it's very powerful. And this is exactly just an example of how easy it is to use experiences from your everyday life.
Just a moment,
yep,
right?
Just a simple moment. Yep, something that happened. I mean, even if you're at home all day long with the kids, or there's lots of stuff that goes on, and Becky can tell you all about it. Yeah. But I mean, there are just simple examples like this throughout our entire day that we can use in story form when we're writing emails, when we're writing posts, okay, when we're doing curiosity posts, Facebook Lives, exactly. Okay, we've shared a couple here just with you in just the last few minutes. I mean, but that's the thing is it's really about stopping and thinking, okay, what happened today? How can I relate it to business? And, and what can I learn from what happened?
And what does this do?
Or what can somebody else learn from it?
And what does this do for your audience, you guys? What does this do for you and what does it do for your audience? Because this is very key, okay? And this is something that a lot of marketers really miss. Again, I've had multiple conversations with multiple students about this, about how... what does this do for you? And what does it do for your audience? Okay?
Yeah.
Because the connection piece, the story piece, the journey is very important. And people are curious, right? How many of you are social media scrollers? Okay? Facebook stalkers. Okay? People want to know what's going on in your life. And it takes a little bit of time for them to warm up to you before they're actually going to reach out. Yep. By you being authentic, by you taking the time to pull the wisdom okay, out of what's happened to you today and how it relates to your business, it allows you to think more freely. It allows you to have more fluid thinking, but it also allows your prospects and your audience to have a deeper insight into who you are.
Yeah, they get to know you.
And what kind of resources and solutions might you actually have for them.
Yep.
Okay, think about it. If you are following somebody who can pull an analogy out of walking down the street, okay, and relate it to business and have it be super impactful, what other nuggets or training or other things might they actually have in store for you? I mean, think about this from a prospect standpoint. If you're following somebody who has that level of skill of storytelling and relatability, okay, what does it automatically do for you?
Or if nothing else, maybe you're a single mom with a couple kids, okay, and you're telling your story about what happened with your day with your kids. That's going to relate to another single mother that's out there, okay, and it's about building that relationship. Yes. You're being authentic, you're being you, and you're going to be able to connect to somebody else that is going through the same type of situation, and they're going to suddenly realize, wow, if this gal can do it, so can I.
And you guys, keep in mind what platform you're on. You're on a social platform. By sharing in story what's going on day to day, using those Facebook story features that disappear in 24 hours, using Facebook posts, sharing what's going on in your life, crazy or not, okay? This is social behavior. Facebook's going to reward it. Okay, so there's a plethora of things that this can do for you, and it allows you to infotain your audience as well as educate and, connect with them.
Yeah, the great thing is you're sharing from an experience, from your own experience.
Not
so this is
anybody
not,
else's.
yeah, exactly. So this is unique to you, and it's not something that's going to go against any Facebook policy or any social media
Or your
policy
company standards.
or company standards or anything like that. So here you go, guys. This is unlimited content. If you just take a moment and evaluate and just think, what happened today? How can I share it and relate it to business?
Yes, and it's just
Simple.
And it's just one moment, okay?
Yeah.
Again, I shared with you briefly driving down the street, somebody using or not using blinkers.
Yep.
Okay, that was an example. So homework for you guys. I'm really curious how many of you can actually participate in this. I would love for you to, after you watch this video, to write one moment in time.
Yep.
Okay, one instant that you might use as a relatable fact or a relatable transition for your audience. So drop it in the comments, okay?
Yep.
So that we can see if you're connecting on this, all right? Yep. We appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us today. Again, I encourage you to tap into this unlimited resource that you have access to every single day,
Yep.
okay? And see what it does for your business.
Yep. You guys be curious, be bold, take action, and remember that it is choice, not chance, that shapes your life.
Take care, you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.